Besides sending the police, you might want to send an ambulance or a hearse.
Hello, Billy Ho here, and welcome to my channel, and welcome to the 2023 Zurich Classic Preview and Pick Show. We are going to talk a little bit about the golf course today and a little get into some team action. This is a specialized event. I wasn't really planning on doing anything for it, but I thought, it's a different event and most people are taking the week off. So why not jump in here and get some content out there? Maybe get a little bit more noticed in the industry this week. So I appreciate everybody watching. 5 things I always ask for. Number one, most importantly, is hit that subscribe button. We're almost a third of the way to my goal of 1,000 subs. So I appreciate everything. Hit the like button too, because that helps it pop up on the searches and everything like that. Number three, the article is published and it's coming together pretty decently. It's kind of on the fly. It's mostly preview. I don't know about player pools and all that. I do have some guys that spark my interest. DraftKings has not released pricing yet. I don't know why they're slow rolling it. Maybe just because it's a different team event and the algorithms have to be programmed, or maybe there's a holiday or something. Who knows? But the preview article and then the Discord is always available if you want to join. And obviously, whenever pricing comes out, there will be a Billy Ho contest. Same as always, $2. Probably do 50 because of the amount of people. Doesn't matter. It's going to fill and run anyway. So we'll get that done. And we are going to get into the TPC Louisiana, the swamplands of Nolans. So let's get it started. Okay, and here is the beginning of it all, the Zurich Classic Picks and Preview coming together. Got a little bit of telling you about the tournament. Obviously, it's an 80. There's 2-player teams, and there's 80 teams, and they will play just like Ryder Cup. They will play foursome and 4-ball. So rounds 1 and 3 will be like best ball. That's where they're going to be going low. They're shooting 60 is the target number. I believe Cantlay and Xander, they shot 59 round one, then they shot 60 in round 3. So the best ball is where they just go super low, tons of scoring, birdies and eagles, scoring everywhere. And then the 4-ball, which is alternate shot, is the hard one. That's the one where these guys got to flip flop shots, and they really struggle to break par. So even par on the rounds 2 and 4 is generally where you're going to benefit the most from. So I believe Xander and Cantlay won it last year by 2 strokes, 27 under, because they shot like a combined 50-12 under on rounds 1 and 3. And then they actually shot, I believe, a couple under par on the 4 balls too. So that's pretty solid work by them. And they're obviously going to be overwhelming favorites because we just saw both on Sunday competing to win. Cantlay fell a little short. Xander ran out of holes, but they were both right up there. They're both great course fits. So speaking of the course, we are going to get into TPC Louisiana right now. And on the 3D planner, this is hole number 2. Actually, I'm going to start with the par fives, because the par fives are where the teams, I mean, they make eagles. You're wanting 3, 4 is almost you're all right with it, but you really want to be making 3 in the best ball categories, because a couple of these par fives are highly gettable. I do believe the hole number 2, the one we're looking at, number 7, were 38 eagles made on those 2 holes alone last year. So that tells you what you're working with. So as we kind of dial it in here, you can just see it's kind of like it's burned out Bermuda. That's what the rough is. So getting into the specs of the course, it's Bermuda grass fairways, Bermuda grass 2-inch rough. So you're going to see kind of a burnt out roughs, and because they don't get as much water. It is swampland, so it is wet. So you will see, things of like gators and cypress trees and lagoons and all kinds of different neat stuff like that. And they're beasts. And then of course they toss in their sand bunkers and whatnot. But you get up here to the next shot, and you can see it's pretty easy to get home into on this hole in particular. There are also short par fours, numbers 1, 5, 8, 10, 13, and 16 have super high birdie rates. So the next one I wanted to look at real quick was hole number 6. This is actually one of the tougher ones. Holes 6, 9, and 17 are difficult holes, especially in the alternate shot. There were a lot of others, like worse than doubles, made. And as you can see, look, we'll get up here and take a look at the second shot. So off the tee, water hazard, big time. So if your partner hits it in the water, then you got to drop. So that's what makes this hole so tough. Hole number 9, we'll jump to real quick. See how tough this one is. This is a par 3, water to the left. You can see why 207 yards. You can see why these holes can be lead to big numbers for these guys. So just keep that in mind. And let's see, I believe that the par fours were 1, 5, 2, and 7. So it's basically a Pete Dye layout. It's ball striking, it's second shots, it's position off the fairway. Basically, all of the things that you saw last week when we played RBC Heritage. So that's what we got. And then the weather, just an early look at the weather. There are storms a brewing in Nolans. So get on down there and get them Cajun air. That kind of sounded like my intro, but that's kind of stupid. I digress. Storms brewing for the beginning of the weekend, Friday p.m. and pretty much all day Saturday. And this is the roller coaster wind I was talking about in this picture here, and what I'm describing. And right around here is the Thursday, is the week, is the tournament. As you can see, this is about noon to 3 p.m. It goes up at noon, down to 3. So it's basically like that every day. This is Saturday, I believe, and this is into Sunday. So that's just kind of an idea of what you're looking at. And our key stats, like I said, approach, off the tee, driving distance is always key, especially on partners. So, you got interesting guys, par 5 scoring, birdies and eagles gained, team experience as well. A lot of these guys are newly paired, and of course Pete Dye history. But these are kind of just a first look at some of the teams that caught my eye, and this is Rick Run Good's cheat sheet. So I organized this by the projected points, and obviously Cantlay, Xander number 1. But I like this Thorborn Olesen, and I just now did this. I didn't even know they were projected this high. I just saw Nikolai Hogard, and we know he's been kind of a hot up and comer who's crashed in a few PGA tournaments here recently. So like Valero, and I believe he got that second at Corrales. So Thorborn is the Thunder Bear. We haven't seen him in a few years, really. He was kind of on the PGA scene, made a kind of a splash at the match play a few years ago, and but he is a really excellent PGA tour, or I mean a DP World Tour player. So I was interested that this was the list over here. If I jump around a little bit, I had Holison and Hogard, and this is not really a ranking. I just numbered them in the order that they kind of came to me. So I put Morikawa and Homa at number 2 just because they're just, that's what it is. But like Clark and Hostler, I don't know. Some of these guys, M and Keith Mitchell, are a new team. I believe M and Benny On played together before, so they're new. So that's interesting. If you want to look into fading them, Morikawa and Homa are a new team as well. Victor Hovland took the weekend off, and Morikawa was probably glad because he was an abject disaster after round 1 Thursday. Victor Hovland was, sunk my entire week. Got completely shut out for the first time in months. So was a bit bitter on that note. But getting down here a little further, I had like Kitayama and Monty. That sounds like a great combo. Siwoo and Tom, obviously Tom the Tank. That's a think new team because I don't think they've played together at all. So that's an easy fade if you want. Thagala and Justin Suh is kind of an interesting team to me as well. They sound like they could complement each other. Thagala very aggressive. Suh a real good rock steady type of player that I don't think would get you in a whole lot of trouble, which is kind of nice to have a partner like that. So obviously, and Hoagie and English, Harris English is playing much better. Harris English is a good partner. He's a great scrambler, a great putter, and he complements the things that Hoagie does well. Hoagie's a ball striker, fairways and greens. So I think they could play off each other pretty good as partners. Damon and McCarthy. Joel Damon was another one that sunk my week last week. 5 under Thursday, and then he loses 5 strokes putting Friday to miss the cut by a stroke. So that really sent me. That really started the beginning of the end for old Billy Ho there. But he's paired with Denny McPutz, so they're going to be solid together. I think Damon is a fairways and greens good ball striker, and Denny's playing really great golf. I mentioned Kitayama and Monty. Both of them bomb off the tee, so they're going to have length on their side no matter which one is teeing off. Kitayama, and he can carry the weight a little bit approach wise, and Monty can carry the weight on the greens, making putts. Uh, Thagala Suh, I mentioned Spawn and Buckley. Hayden Buckley is a good long off the tee and straight. Spawn, those guys, if they ain't 75 to 80% fairways, hit or whatever, then it's. But Buckley looked really good at RBC this weekend, so I'm probably going to be really interested in Spawn and Buckley. SH Kim and Benny On is an interesting new team. SH Kim is kind of a grinder, but Benny On is like a scorer. And Benny On can be hot. He's a little bit better with the putter. And I think that's a pretty solid team. Taylor Moore, Matthew Neesmith, I'm kind of have a little bit of interest in. Taylor Moore is just playing really good golf right now. Ton of confidence coming off his good showing at the Masters. Matthew Neesmith is showing some resurgency here lately. Ben Griffin, obviously, and Ryan Garrard, 2 up-and-comers looking really good. Riley and Hardy, I'm not so much on. I don't know. I did initially. I thought Nick Hardy. I just always liked Nick Hardy, but he's really not been good at all lately. So maybe partnering up with Davis Riley, those two can whack it around a little bit and do some scoring. But this is probably, if you had to rank them, that's why they're last. Chesson Hadley and Ben Martin make an interesting pair because Hadley's super aggressive. Martin's kind of steady. And Hadley can score like a banshee when he gets going. So that's kind of why I like that team a little bit. So this is just kind of a first look for the Zurich Classic. Appreciate you watching. Share alike. Smash the like. Join the contest. All those good things. And until the next video, I'll see you soon. I appreciate all you guys do on the support of Old Billy Ho. Thanks again.